Hello everyone, and welcome to Drama and Theater, brought to you by Dwayne Old Time Radio. Before we get to today's drama, if you enjoy what I'm doing, let me ask you to subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is 100% free, and you will receive notifications on new posts. Lastly, if you have a moment, write a short 1 or 2 sentence review or give a rating on your preferred podcast service. A positive review or rating would help me out a lot. And now, on to the show. Lux Radio Theater starts the month, December, last month of the year. Let's enjoy. 2 episodes. The first is Song of Songs with Marlene Dietrich and Douglas Fairbanks Jr., December 20th, 1937. And then Arrowsmith with Spencer Tracy and Wray. Wray of King Kong fame, October 25th, 1937.
From Hollywood, California, the Lux Radio Theater presents Marlene Dietrich and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. in the Song of Songs with Lionel Atwill. Lux presents Hollywood. We want to thank all of you for your loyalty to our product, Lux Flakes, the loyalty which makes this program possible. The lights of our marquee blaze forth tonight with the names of Marlene Dietrich, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., Lionel Atwill, and Pedro de Cordova. And as guests, Walt Disney, creator of Mickey Mouse and the Silly Symphonies. Louis Silvers conducts our orchestra, and our entire production is under the direction of Hollywood's master showman. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. The taxicab drivers of New York are known as the most efficient, London's the most patient, and those of Paris the most impetuous and chivalrous in the world. The Parisian cabbies first proved themselves during the World War, when they loaded their whimsical chariots with troops and raced them to the front in defense of their city. Several weeks ago, they proved their gallantry for the second time. It was while Marlene Dietrich was in Paris. Miss Dietrich, of course, used cabs many times, but without exception, every driver refused to accept a fare or a tip. No amount of persuasion from the embarrassed Marlene did the slightest good. The drivers met her proffered francs with Gallic gallantry, smiled faintly, bowed deeply, and asked as their only reward permission to shake her hand. Each of them volunteered his services for the remainder of the day, and Marlene was unable to convince them that they had families to support and that the landlord isn't paid with handshakes. Miss Dietrich also visited London. While there, she saw the play French Without Tears and liked it so well that she asked Paramount to buy it. The result? She starts work on the picture next month. Marlene expects to visit London again next summer. But then her passport will read, Marlene Dietrich, citizen of the United States. Tonight, Miss Dietrich reenacts one of her most memorable screen characterizations, the role of Lily in The Song of Songs. Solomon gave us the title, Hermann Sudermann wrote the book, Edward Sheldon the play, and Paramount produced the picture. Opposite Miss Dietrich, as Richard Waldo, is Douglas Fairbanks Jr., whom I'm proud to have known since his Knickerbocker days, when he and one of my daughters did their algebra problems on the floor of my home. It's hard to believe that this young man has been in pictures 15 years. Well named the international ambassador from Hollywood, Doug has made several films in England and has also taken an active part in producing pictures. His last visit abroad was after he made The Prisoner of Zenda, but he was promptly summoned home to star with Ginger Rogers in Having Wonderful Time. He leaped across the 7,000 miles in about 6 days, including a few hours stop in New York to see the stage play. His next RKO film co-stars him with Irene Dunn and is tentatively called Joy of Loving. From the film cast of The Song of Songs is Lionel Atwill as Baron von Meersbach. This splendid character actor, most recently seen in The Great Garrick and Lancer Spy, has been host these past few days to his brother-in-law, James Cromwell, husband of the former Doris Duke. Pedro de Cordova will be heard as the art dealer. And now, the Lux Radio Theater delivers its Christmas present to the radio listeners of America. We raise the curtain on The Song of Songs, starring Marlene Dietrich and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. with Lionel Atwill. Constantinople, threads its way across the hills of Central Europe. In a third-class compartment, a young girl in peasant dress sits stiffly on the edge of her seat. She's been that way from early morning until night, her meager possessions in a bundle on her lap. In her eyes, an expression of mingled fear and expectation. The conductor opens the compartment door.
Tickets, please. Oh, good evening, Fräulein.
Good evening.
Well, we're almost there now. A few more minutes.
You will let me know when we come to Vienna.
You know it. Vienna never sleeps. Is this your first visit?
Yes, I'm going to my aunt.
Oh, you will like it in Vienna, Fräulein.
Thank you. It frightens me a little.
You'll get used to it. Tickets. Vienna. Orient Express for Budapest and Constantinople. Vienna. Take your bundle, Fräulein?
Carry your bundle, Fräulein.
Carry your bundle, Fräulein. Porter. Carriage, Fräulein. Carriage here. Carriage, Fräulein. Carriage, Fräulein. Any place in Vienna? Right here, Fräulein. I'll take your bundle.
Thank you.
Where to, Fräulein?
This address, please. It's written on the card. I don't know where it is.
Oh, I'll find it. Don't worry about that, Fräulein.
It's a bookshop.
Bookshop. We'll be there in no time. Get in, Fräulein. Get in, please. Get in. Oh. We're here, Fräulein. The bookshop, eh?
Yes. How much, please?
10 shillings, Fräulein.
10 shillings. Here.
Thank you, Fräulein.
What is it?
Good evening, Tante Rasmussen.
Oh, so you're Lily. Come in. Did you have to arrive in the middle of the night?
It was the only train I could get, Tante Rasmussen.
Well, aren't you going to kiss your old aunt?
Of course.
Let me look at you. I'd forgotten people wore clothes like that.
They're all I have.
Well, come on. You'll find this room in here behind the shop. I've got it fixed for you. Go on.
Thank you.
What have you got in that bundle?
Just a few things.
Open it up.
It's just a comb and my brush.
What's this? A Bible?
It was my father's.
Is that all your scamp of a father left you? A Bible?
He wasn't a scamp. He was a good man.
I don't know what he was good for, dying off and leaving you a charge on your distant relations. Well, at least he taught you to read. That's something. You may be some use about the shop after all.
Father was a good man. Every night these last few years since he got sick, he used to make me read to him from this.
The Lamentations of Job, no doubt.
No, the Song of Solomon. He loved it best. The Song of Songs. It's beautiful.
Beautiful?
He was a good man.
All right. Have you had your supper?
I'm not hungry, thanks.
Then you might as well go to bed. In the morning, I'll start teaching you about the books. I lock up tonight, but after this, you do it.
Yes, Tante.
Now, get to bed. And don't keep the lamp on all night reading your Song of Songs.
I don't have to read it anymore. I know it by heart.
Good night.
Good night, Tante. By night on my bed I sought him, whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. I will rise now and go about the city in the streets, and in the broad ways I will seek him, whom my soul loveth. I will seek him, whom my soul loveth. And this book is 2 shillings to buy or 1 pfennig a day for renting.
I'll rent it, please.
Yes, Frau Holden.
You can charge it, I suppose?
Yes, Frau Holden. Good day.
Good day.
Good morning, sir. You're looking for a book?
Huh?
I said, you're looking for a book.
That's what people usually come in a bookshop for.
I'm sorry. I thought perhaps I could help you.
Well, you can't. No one can. I'm lost. You understand? Lost in a sea of... Oh. Hello.
Hello?
Who are you?
I work here. I'm Mrs. Rasmussen's niece.
I don't believe it.
What?
An old witch like Rasmussen couldn't have a niece like you. Who are you?
I'm Mrs. Rasmussen's niece.
Well, you ought to know. How long have you been here?
Just a little while. What kind of book were you looking for, please?
Book? What have you got on sculpturing?
There's some on the shelf over here.
Oh, I've got those. Read them all, cover to cover, nothing in them.
Then I don't know.
What I need is something inspirational.
Inspirational?
Yes, you know, something that'll make you work when you don't want to.
I'm afraid I can't help you.
No? Well, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
You are Mr. Waldo, aren't you?
That's right. Richard Waldo, New York, Paris, and Vienna. How did you know?
I've heard some of the people talk of you. People that come in the shop.
Oh, yes? What did they say?
Well, they said that...
Never mind. I don't want to hear it. Did you ever model?
Model?
For an artist, for a sculptor?
Oh, no.
Well, you ought to. You're beautiful.
Please,
Don't be so modest. I didn't say you're a beautiful woman. I said you're a beautiful model. There's a difference.
Oh, is there?
How would you like to model for me?
Oh, but I couldn't.
Don't be silly. Let me see your profile.
But you don't know.
Perfect. You'd be a wonderful model.
But my aunt...
No, your aunt's too fat. Now, look. You come to my studio, 7 o'clock. It's just across the street, 3rd floor, on your right.
I think you must be crazy.
Sure, that's why I'm a sculptor. I'll be expecting you then.
I can't come.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
You're looking for a book, Mr. Waldo?
Yes. I found one. Here. You'll send that over to my studio, please?
Of course.
Thank you. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What book is that?
Oh, what?
That book he bought. Let me see it. Embroidery and needlepoint for beginners.
Come in. Well, who is it? Oh.
You told me to come.
Of course, come in. I've been expecting you.
I brought your book.
Oh, that. Thank you. Sit down.
No, I can't stay. Tante Rasmussen doesn't know I'm here. If she did,
What's the matter? You're not afraid of her?
Yes.
So am I.
Is this where you work?
Yes, it's messy, but it's home. Look, I made some sketches of you already. Like to see them?
Sketches of me?
Yes, from memory. I've got a figure to do. Life-size marble. These are studies for it. They're not very good.
Oh, I think they're beautiful. But they're not like me.
You don't think so?
Oh, this one is like someone in the Bible.
What's that? Let me see.
You know, the girl in the Song of Songs. The way I see her. Young, very fair. She has never loved. But she knows that one day she will. And that's what she waits for. Standing so straight, her head high, listening, waiting.
Don't move.
What?
Don't move.
But I don't know what...
Put your arms down, close to your sides. Palms out, head up. Up. That's it. The Song of Songs. It's perfect.
Please, if you don't mind.
It's just what I've been looking for. Get up on that platform over there.
But I can't.
What's your name?
My name is Lily,
Then don't argue, Lily. Now, take the same pose. Come on, we'll make a sketch first. Right. Tired?
A little.
All right, you can rest now.
Thank you.
I'll get it. Next the clay and then the marble. And then a song out of marble. A song of songs. Who is it?
Am I welcome?
Oh, come in.
I was passing and saw your light. I thought I'd come up and see how you were getting along with my statue.
Well, I made a sketch of it. Like it?
Very good.
Well, you see what I'm getting at.
I think so. Very interesting. Aren't you going to introduce me?
Oh, sorry. Baron von Merzbach. Lily.
How do you do?
How do you do? So you are Richard's inspiration, huh? These artists are privileged people.
I think I'd better go now.
Oh, please, don't run away on my account. You see, I'm not altogether an intruder. The statue our young friend is to make of you will belong to me.
It's late. I really have to go. Good night.
Good night. Tomorrow evening?
I try.
A lovely girl. Where did you find her?
Oh, I ran across her.
Oh, she's not a professional model?
No, she works in the bookshop across the way. Why?
Well, she interests me.
Oh, yes?
But of course, Richard, if there's any reason why I shouldn't...
None at all. She's nothing to me.
Oh, that's fine. Because she interests me very much.
That's just a frame for the clay model.
I see.
Now, don't move, Lily. It's very rough yet, but in a few weeks it'll... You ready to cut the marbles soon? Eyes open, Lily, please.
Charming.
Excuse me, Baron.
Huh? Oh, am I on your way? I'm sorry. Lovely. The marble is superb. And when do you suppose it will be finished?
Oh, I don't know. By New Year's, perhaps. Sooner if you'd let us alone, Baron.
Oh, my friend, you're annoyed with me. Oh, very well. I'll not come again. I will keep out of your way. Huh?
Richard?
Lily, where in heaven's name have you been?
I know. I'm late third time this week. Oh, Richard, so many people on the shop holiday all evening.
What's that got to do with me? Christmas Eve is the same as any other for an artist.
I'm sorry, Richard.
What have you got there?
Flowers.
I can see that. What are they for?
I don't know.
Where'd you get them?
A man.
What man, the Baron?
No, I didn't know him. I met him downstairs in the street.
You mean to say you accepted flowers from a stranger in the street?
He was very handsome.
What's that to do with it?
Nothing.
Perfect stranger, and you accept... It's indecent.
Jealous?
No, I'm not jealous. Throw those flowers away.
I won't.
Throw them away, do you hear? Give them to me.
No, let me go.
Come on, give them to me.
Oh, you're hurting me.
Oh, Lily, I didn't mean it.
Look, you've crushed the flowers. And I bought them for you.
Oh, darling, please forgive me.
Why?
Because I love you, Lily. Because I love you, darling.
Richard, did you just find that out?
I don't know. I should have known always.
I have known. From the first night I came here. I saw things then for the first time. The gold in the sunlight, the deep brown of the earth, the whiteness of the snow. So beautiful.
I won't have you squandering your love that way. What about me?
When I put my hands on the earth, it's you I'm touching. The wind on my face is your kiss. You are in everything I think and feel and do, and will be till I die.
You feel that way? You shouldn't, Lily.
Shouldn't? Why?
Don't love too much, ever. We weren't made to love that much.
You don't want me to love you?
Yes, I do. I do, Lily.
Then that's my way. The way of the girl you have carved from the cold stone. But her heart is not cold. And she says, set me as a seal upon thine arm, as a seal upon thine heart. For love is strong as death.
Richard? Here.
No.
Fill up your glass.
I said no. Go on with what you were saying, Baron.
Well, you don't seem anxious to hear it.
I am.
I said my interest in Lily was not frivolous. In fact, I may say my interest is far less frivolous than your own.
What do you mean?
You've been in love before, Richard. And why not? You're young, good-looking, talented. But where are they now? these women.
In love with someone else, I hope, and very happy.
You hope, but you don't know. You don't care, really. I don't want that to happen to Lily.
What makes you think it will?
Nothing. But it has happened before. It may happen again. And I want her.
You want her?
Give her to me, Richard. I need her and you don't. I can make her happy and you won't. I'm rich. I can give her anything. I can educate her, refine her. I can make her the Baroness von Meschbach.
Are you serious?
Doesn't it sound as if I were?
What do you want me to do?
Step aside, Richard. Go away for a while. Give me a chance to see her. What can you give her? A little happiness, perhaps? But for how long? You can't marry her, Richard. You can't drag her down into poverty. And sooner or later, you'd have to choose between her and your career. Which will win? Which? Shut up! Oh, no. Don't be angry with me, Richard. Think of her. Well, Richard?
No way. Let me alone. I want to think.
Richard, why don't you... Oh.
Come in, Lily.
Where's Richard? What has happened here? Where are his things? His statues?
Lily.
Where's Richard? Where's he?
He's gone.
Gone? Gone where?
Away. To Italy, I think. He asked me to see you and explain.
Italy? When is he coming back?
Not for a long time. Perhaps never.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Don't take it too hardly, Lily. He isn't worth it. No man is.
When did he go?
This afternoon. Early. He told me yesterday he thought it would be best for you and for him.
Yesterday? Then he knew. He knew and he didn't tell me.
He hadn't the heart, Lily. That's why I'm here. Lily. Lily, don't cry. Don't you see it had to end this way sooner or later? He never really loved you. And I do. Let me take care of you, Lily.
Go away, please. Go away.
While I live, you'll have everything you need, everything you want. After my death, and it may not be so long, you'll have the estate.
No.
Is it because of him? Are you going to let him spoil your life? He didn't let you disturb his. He didn't consider you his equal. Well, I do. Come with me and I'll make you his equal. I'll clothe you and teach you. I'll make a great lady out of you. I'll make you my wife. My wife, Lily. And when you meet him again, you'll be the Baroness von Meschbach. The Baroness, Lily. And he'll be nobody. Obscure, penniless, living in garrets. And you can buy a statue from him, perhaps, for charity's sake. Is it worth it, Lily? For his lies?
There were lies. All of them.
Then let me help you, Lily. Make him pay for them. Oh. It will be sweet, Lily.
Yes. It will be sweet.
Take a brief intermission now and then return to Marlene Dietrich, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., and Lionel Atwell in Act 2 of our play. In this intermission time, let's step on radio's magic carpet and fly to a home in an eastern town where everything is in a state of tense excitement. Marjorie, the older daughter of the house, a college freshman, has just come home for Christmas. The family are gathered round the fire, eager for all of the news of college.
Gosh, it's nice to be home.
But you're happy at college, dear.
Oh, I love it, Mother. Of course, they work as hard.
Oh, we don't want to hear about work, Marge.
Why, Dottie,
Oh,
dear.
please, Mother, I want to know about the parties and the games and what the girls wear.
Oh, hold on, sis. One question at a time. Well, about clothes. We just live in sweaters, and we usually wear them over silk blouses, just as I am now.
That sweater still looks very nice, dear. Just as pretty and soft as when we bought it last fall.
I guess the credit goes to Lux. I washed it oodles of times, just the way you told me to.
Well, there's nothing like Lux Flakes, dear. I'm glad you remembered that.
Oh, Lux is the college girl's pal, Mother. Nearly all the girls Lux stockings, undies, and sweaters. It doesn't shrink wool, thank goodness. I simply despise shrunken sweaters or socks.
It's a good thing to remember that Lux won't shrink woolens, won't fade colors. It's safe for anything that's safe in water alone. And now, our producer, Mr. DeMille.
We continue with the Song of Songs, starring Marlene Dietrich and Douglas Fairbanks, Jr., with Lionel Atwill. A year has passed. A long, dull year, filled with bitterness and disillusionment. As the Baroness von Merzbach, Lily lives only for the time when she will see Richard again, to humble him with the difference in their rank. The Baron, failing in health, has grown jealous of his young wife. In the library of their country house, he stands by the window, looking out. Suddenly, he turns and addresses the housekeeper savagely.
Where is she? Where is she?
I've told you. For the fourth time, she's gone riding.
Doesn't she know we're having guests?
I told her that.
Riding.
It was your own suggestion that she learn. Along with her French and her music and her singing, you suggested
I
that she
didn't intend her to be out every day.
No? Then perhaps you shouldn't have provided so handsome a master.
What?
He is handsome, your riding master. And young.
Be quiet. Please remember you are my housekeeper. Nothing more. When I want your opinion, I'll ask.
I've been your housekeeper for 10 years. It's only recently that I've been reminded of it.
That's enough. When she comes in, I want to see her. Once. You understand?
I understand.
Oh. Shall we rest a while, Baroness?
I think so.
Oh, let me help you down. There we are.
Thank you. It is very beautiful here.
Yes, I come here often by myself.
Why have you never brought me?
Well, it's rather silly. This place is a sort of retreat for me, a sacred resting ground. Whenever things look hopeless and black, I come here to be alone.
Are things so hopeless now?
Yes, Baroness. They have been for a long time.
How long?
Since I first came here. Since I first met you.
I'm sorry you said that. I think tomorrow I shall ride alone.
Because you want to, Baroness? Or because you're afraid?
I'm not afraid.
I've watched you in that house. Your soul is dying there. I've watched you with me. I've seen you smile.
It meant nothing.
It did to me. Lily, I love you.
Let go of my hand, please.
No, you've got to listen to me. You've got to.
That was not meant to hurt you. Only to prove to you that our rides together have been only that. We will not ride tomorrow.
Well, so you've decided to come back.
Miss Volk said you wished to see me.
Where have you been?
I've been riding.
Alone, I suppose.
No. Hereafter I will be.
Isn't it a bit soon?
I learned quickly.
Well, you better go and get dressed.
Yes, I will.
We're having guests for dinner. Or I should say, guest. Our friend Richard is coming.
What?
You're surprised, eh?
He's coming here tonight?
Yes. And you must look your prettiest, my dear. I want to see you together. You and your old friend. The starving artist and the Baroness von Merzbach. Sit down, Richard. Sit down. You arrived just in time, huh? Nasty weather.
Yes.
Cigarette?
No, thank you.
Lily will be down in a moment. Ah, you'll be surprised at the change in her. She's a woman, Richard. Matured. Beautiful.
You said something in your letter about...
About a business matter. Yes. I've been thinking, Richard. That statue. What was it? The Song of Songs. Where is it?
I never finished it.
What? Why, it was almost done. It was...
I never finished it.
I see.
Of course, I know you paid for it. I'll do something else for you. I'll pay you the money back. I can get it somehow.
No. Forget it, my friend. Forget it. And you've already paid me back, you know. I have the original.
Lily.
Come in, my dear.
Good evening. Good evening, Richard.
What, Lily? No kiss for me this evening?
Of course. It was nice that you could come, Richard. You're always glad to welcome old friends.
Thank you.
Dinner is served, Your Excellency.
Ah, dinner. Take the Baroness, Richard. Go on. The young before the old. The young before the old. And he said he never finished it. Never finished the statue after spending months of work on it. There's an artist for you. We'll drink to him, huh? More wine, Lily.
I've had enough, thank you.
I see you think that I have had enough also. But tonight, I go the limit. We celebrate, huh? Isn't she lovely, Richard? Isn't she everything I said? Huh? And you must hear her sing, my boy. You'll sing for Richard, won't you, my dear? And French. She speaks French. And rides. Yes, like a real lady, Richard. A real baroness. Excuse me. And just to think, I owe all my happiness to you.
You exaggerate, Baron.
Not at all. You didn't know that, did you, my dear? That when I told Richard how I felt about you, he...
Go on. Why did you stop?
Well, because it seemed to me that Richard kicked me under the table.
He must have had a reason.
No, he's just modest. Likes to pretend he's a cynic. Doesn't want his good deeds known.
I'm modest enough to wish we'd talk about someone else.
No. I like to hear about good deeds. What did he do?
Well, he stepped aside when I wanted you.
Did he?
Yes. With rare friendship, he gave you to me.
How touching.
One of the most beautiful gestures I have ever encountered. Beautiful.
Yes, I can just see the scene. You two bartering as to which one should have me.
Lily.
And he gave me to you.
Lily, don't.
As if I weren't a human being, but something to be passed on from one pair of hands to another.
No, you don't understand.
You'll forgive me, please. I forgot for a moment that I was a baroness. A baroness has no emotions. Excuse me.
Lily. Come back. Listen, Lily. Fool you. Why did you tell her that?
Do her good. Do her good.
Well, I'm going to tell her the truth. All of it. Lily. Lily, where are you? Lily!
I beg your pardon, sir. Baroness has gone out.
Which way?
Along the garden path, sir. Toward the lodge. I'm rather worried.
Lily! Lily, where are you? Lily, wait! Wait! Where are you going?
Let me alone.
You can't go running around in the dark. Listen to me.
I've had enough for one night.
You haven't heard anything. You're coming away from here. I'm taking you back to Vienna with me tonight.
You think I would go with you now?
You've got to. You can't stay here any longer. I won't let you stay. I can see what it's doing to you, Lily.
Let me go. I thought I wanted to see you again. I don't. I thought it would give me strength to see you crawl before me. Well, it doesn't. You're not even that much good to me.
Lily, don't. Don't hate me so. I want to help you.
Help me? That's what he said. He wanted to help me, too. Well, I don't need your help. I have everything I want.
Except love, and you can't live without love.
I have that, too.
What?
Yes, I have that, too. There's a boy here. The boy who loves me. I'm going to him now.
You're lying.
Am I? Do you see that light between the trees? He lives there, in the lodge. I'm going to him now.
Lily, don't.
Have I hurt you, Richard? Is there an ache in your throat? Do your eyes sting like fire? Mine did.
I love you, Lily.
Richard, don't love too much. We weren't made to love that much. Goodbye.
Lily! Lily! Lily!
Baroness.
Let me in. Shut the door, please.
Baroness, why did you come here? I could have come to the house if you wanted.
No, I just want to stay here for a moment.
But this afternoon, you said.
This has nothing to do with this afternoon.
I don't understand.
There's nothing for you to understand. I want to stay here, that's all.
I'm sorry.
You may sit down.
But do you think it's quite safe? If anyone saw you come here, Baroness.
Someone did see me.
What?
I meant him to see me. He'll be gone soon, and then I'll leave.
But you'll never get back if the storm breaks. That struck close. Did you feel it? I thought I heard...
Stay where you are, please.
Look, that light. It's fire. It struck out there on the porch. The whole place will be blazing in a minute. Come on. We can't get out that way. It's a furnace. The whole front of the lodge. Come on, the back way, quickly. We can go through the... Baroness, don't stand there. Baroness! Baroness, are you mad? The whole place is going to...
Bring her over here.
Is she still unconscious?
Lay her down on the ground.
She's not burned. It's just smoke. I tried to get her out, but she wouldn't come. I had to carry her.
Have you sent for a doctor?
She's all right now. She's opening her eyes.
Get out of the way. Out of my way.
Miss Folk. The Baroness
Is she all right?
Yes, I think so.
Then get back to the house. Go on, all of you. I'll take care of her myself. Baroness, look at me. Are you all right now?
Yes?
Then try to stand up. Quickly. You've got to leave here. Do you understand?
Leave?
Get on your feet. The Baron, he knows you were in the lodge. He's coming down here now. He'll kill you. He'll kill you if he finds you. Can you walk?
Yes.
We'll go by the back gate. Hold on to my arm. Take the road to the town. There's a train at midnight. We have to hurry. Here's money. Don't miss that train. Do you hear? Do you hear?
I hear.
Go on now. The gate's open. I'll send your things after you. Oh, you little fool, you. Where will you be? Where will you be?
I don't know. I don't know.
We pause for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. Marlene Dietrich and Douglas Fairbanks, Jr. with Lionel Atwell return to the stage for Act 3 of The Song of Songs. In this brief intermission, we bring you special Christmas news. A new way to make your Christmas tree more glittering, more exciting. Decorate it with real-looking snow. You can make it easily with Lux Flakes and apply it in no time. Here's how you do it. Pour a box of Lux Flakes into a big bowl or dishpan and add lukewarm water. You don't need much water, only about 2 scant cups to a big box of Lux. Then beat up with an egg beater. Soon you'll have a bowl full of pure white suds that look like whipped cream. Then, right away, take handfuls of this whipped-up mixture and spread with your fingers along the branches of your Christmas tree. While it's still moist, and if you want an even more glittering effect, sprinkle the tree with that shiny artificial Christmas snow you get in the stores. You'll have the loveliest effect imaginable. Your tree seems covered with glistening, soft, freshly fallen snow. This new way of decorating your Christmas tree is practical, too. It clings to the pine needles and keeps them from drying and falling off so soon. Try this easy, inexpensive tree decoration. White trees are smarter than ever this year. Remember, Lux Flakes, a little water, about 2 scant cups of water to a big box of Lux, and beat it with an egg beater. Remember to have a large box of Lux Flakes on hand so you'll have plenty of snow. Back now to Mr. DeMille, our stars, and play.
Marlene Dietrich, Douglas Fairbanks, Jr., and Lionel Atwell resume the Song of Songs. More months have passed, and Lily has vanished, lost in the maze of the city. In Richard's studio, the statue of the Song of Songs stands completed, gleaming with a ghostly radiance. Richard, looking tired and worn, exhibits some of his work to a dealer.
Here's one. There's Dove here. You can have it for 10 shillings.
10 shillings? That is very cheap.
I need the money.
Unfortunately, I have no need for the statue.
Oh, there's a mate that goes with it. With the holidays coming on,
The holidays are not important in my shop.
Oh.
My clients are... What's this?
What?
This life-size marble. Is it yours?
Yes.
The Song of Songs. Very beautiful. How much do you want?
For that? It's not for sale.
Oh, come, Waldo. You don't have to deal that way with me. I'll give you a fair price. I'll give you 1,000 shillings.
No.
More, perhaps.
I said no.
Whom did you make it for?
The Baron von Merzbach.
The Baron von Didn't he die recently? I thought I read in the paper that he...
You might have, but the statue is not for sale.
Very well. I know better than to argue with an artist. But if you should ever change your mind, Waldo, I'd like the first bid.
What about the other things?
Frankly, they're not very good. Not for my purposes, anyway.
But I've got to sell something. You can name your own price. I've got to have money.
There's nothing I want, Waldo, except... No. Well, good night, Waldo.
Good night.
Good morning. Something for the holidays? A gift, perhaps? Oh, it's you again.
Good morning, Mrs. Rasmussen. Have you any word yet?
No, I haven't. I should think you'd be tired of asking.
You'll let me know, won't you?
Oh, I'll let you know. I don't want her on my hands again. Ungrateful little fool. She'd be on velvet now if she'd had any sense. What with him dying. But did she think of me? Did she think once of her old aunt? No. Off she went. Where?
I've looked every place. They've never even heard of her.
Have you tried the gutter? She may be there.
If she is, I've put her there. And I'll bring her back.
You want a table, sir?
No, I'm just looking.
Yes, sir.
Looking? What do you mean, looking?
Don't you like it?
People come here to spend.
Then I'll get out.
Hello, Waldo. Merry Christmas, Waldo.
Hello, Anton. Excuse me, will you?
No. Sit down, Waldo. Sit down here.
I can't now. I've got to get...
What's the matter?
That girl over there. At that table.
Oh, that's Lily. She sings here.
Tell her I want to see her, will you? Right away, outside.
Oh, sure. Hey, Lily.
Lily.
What do you want?
Aren't you glad to see me?
I saw you come in. What do you want?
I've been looking everywhere for you. What are you doing in this place?
I've had to work.
You could have come to me. You know that. Why didn't you?
Why didn't I? You asked me that? Excuse me, I must get back.
You're not going back in there. You're coming with me now.
Am I?
Lily, what's happened to you? You're changed. You're hard. You're bitter.
I wouldn't be a good model now. The freshness is gone. Did you expect anything else? Why have you been looking for me? Why did you come here? Did you expect to find me as I used to be?
Lily, we can't talk here. Please come with me.
Very well. Why not?
Go in, Lily. It's the same place, you see. I've changed things around a little, but some of the pieces are gone. Not many, I'm afraid. Sit down.
You haven't done so well either. Have you, Richard?
No, Lily.
You said you never finished the statue.
I did, later.
No office?
No office. It's my best work, too. It's the only worthwhile thing I've ever done in my life.
Why did you bring me here? To talk about her?
And about ourselves. I brought you here because I thought when you saw this room again, you'd remember another Christmas. Centuries ago, Lily. You bought flowers for me. You remember?
I have no flowers now.
I brought you here because I thought you might love me again, as you once did.
I never did.
That isn't true.
I never did. There was a young girl once, centuries ago, who came up those stairs as I did tonight. She loved you. With all her soul, she loved you. I'm not that girl.
You are in your heart.
In my heart, least of all. Shall I tell you something? Sometimes that young girl comes to me at night, as she used to go to you. She whispers those words to me, the words you loved to hear. I sought him, whom I so loved. I sought him, but I found him not. I called him, but he gave me no answer.
Lily.
The watchmen that went about the city found me. They smote me. They wounded me. They took away my veil from me.
Lily, don't. I love you. I do love you.
Then you love someone who's dead. You love a corpse. I'm dead. What right has she to live? That statue there. Let her die, too.
Lily, don't touch it.
Let her die. Let her die. Let her die.
Lily, look at me.
Let me go.
Never, Lily. Never. Don't you see, darling? We can start again. You've destroyed her, and we can start again. She should have died, because we profaned her. And now we'll make another, you and I. Another song of songs, more beautiful than the last. Because our love is still there. It is there, Lily. We've kept it alive under everything.
Richard.
What was it in the song? What was it, Lily?
Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm. For love is strong as death.
Marlene Dietrich, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., and Lionel Atwell will be heard again before we say goodnight. Hollywood, land of perpetual sunshine, December roses, and rising temperatures, is going to have a snow-white Christmas. Yes, it's true. But before I completely confound our Chamber of Commerce, let me explain myself. Tomorrow night in the Carthy Circle Theater, scene of epic Hollywood premieres, another chapter in motion picture history will be written when Walt Disney presents the first full-length animated film ever made, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. For giving us Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and the Silly Symphonies, the world owes Walt a great debt. He was the first to make animated cartoons in sound and then in color. And with Snow White, he pioneers once again in a picture that took 3 years to make and involved more than 2 million individual drawings. Walt is standing beside me now. I should say he's quaking beside me now. He's nervous, trembling, and out of breath. Buck up, Mr. Disney. What's wrong?
Nothing much. Except I've been running around in circles so long, it's getting to be a habit.
Carthy circles?
Well, that's just one of them. I think I've got stage fright.
No, you've got premiere fright, which is much worse.
You ought to know you've produced and opened more than 200 pictures.
Yes, and I'm just as scared the 200th time as I was the first. But I hear Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is the screen's greatest innovation in years.
Well, your own first full-length picture, The Squaw Man, was considered quite a departure. After all, people had only seen 2-reelers up to then.
So I can forgive your condition tonight, even though you look as though you've done all the work yourself.
Oh, far from it. If I'd tried to make this picture by myself, working 8 hours a day and going to a sanitarium for 2 weeks each summer, it would have taken me 250 years.
And you figured that wasn't quite fast enough. Anyway, lots of luck.
Pardon me, did you say lots of lucks?
I said luck. But the name Snow White suggests Lux Flake. So, that Lux Flakes maybe played some part in your production.
Well, I'm grateful to Lux Flakes. They made Snow White a household word to women who wash their own fine things, long before I ever thought of putting her on the screen. I also understand that Lux Flakes play a big part in cutting down Hollywood's wardrobe bill, which reminds me how costly a young lady Snow White was to clothe. We figure her costumes cost about $100,000.
Just a minute, Walt. How do you figure that when all our costumes were made with paint and brush?
But it's true, even though she wears only 2 dresses, and both of them are drawings. You take the salary of the artists and the animators, and there are hundreds of them. The cost of the paints, colors, photography, and Technicolor, and little Snow White's 2 dresses add up to $100,000. The cost of our entire picture is almost as much as your own new film, The Buccaneer.
And yet you didn't have to pay the salary of a single star. We who produce pictures with human beings figure their salaries alone consume 25% of our budgets. So with $1.5 million invested, I can understand in more ways than one why you may be nervous.
I guess it wouldn't be normal if I weren't nervous. But Snow White is a goal we've been aiming at for 10 years. There won't be any Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck to attract the people. They'll all be brand new characters.
I suppose after Snow White is successfully launched, you'll sit back and take it easy for a while.
Are you going to stop work after The Buccaneer?
I haven't begun to work yet.
Well, we won't stop either. It's just the beginning for us. We're going to make more feature-length animated productions and try to make use of all that we've learned in the 3 years required to produce Snow White. We don't think we know so much even now, and we're using all the outside advice we can get.
What sort of outside advice?
Well, there's Sidney Franklin, for example, the man who directed Good Earth. He seems to think our cartoon medium is important, and he's offered to work with us in directing Bambi, the famous story, The Little Deer. We've also started work on Pinocchio.
Yeah, but what's going to happen to Mickey and Minnie and Donald Duck?
Oh, they'll continue to be just as important as they've ever been. We wouldn't dream of anything else. But we're growing, Mr. DeMille, and experimenting. Leopold Stokowski, the famous conductor, is going to work with us on an idea of combining fine music with animated cartoons. He wants to make great symphonies popular with people all over the world. After that, Gosh, look at the clock. I've got to start running again. Good night.
I wish you the greatest success of your career, Walt. Good night. And now, in this season of Christmas stars, we bring you one of Hollywood's brightest, Marlene Dietrich.
Thank you, Mr. DeMille. There's one thing I really want to say to everyone. A happy Christmas to you all. Good night.
Good night, Marlena. And now will the gentleman report. Mr. Fairbanks, Mr. Atwell.
Thanks, C.B. You know, Lionel, Mr. DeMille here means a lot more to me than almost anyone else in Hollywood.
Really?
He's been my friend for years, helped me, advised me. I really think a great deal of Mr. DeMille.
I'm sure we all do.
Well, that's very kind, gentlemen, but after all, Doug, I don't think this is the time to...
No, I want everyone to know what I think of you. For example, you like boats. You like to get away on the water. Peace, quiet, time to think things out. Any man who likes boats as much as you is bound to be a big man.
You're not leading up to borrowing my boat by any chance, are you?
Well, I thought if you weren't doing anything...
Yes, and how are you, Lionel?
Fine, C.B., thanks, fine. But speaking of hobbies, my stamp collection is really the...
Of course, I have a boat of my own, but it's in England, on the Thames. And if you're ever over there, I want you to feel that my boat is yours. Now, just take it any time and keep it as long as you want.
But, Doug, I haven't the slightest idea of going to England.
Well, that's all right. I just want you to know that it's there when you do go.
Well, thanks. That's very generous.
And now, as man to man, I'm planning a little fishing trip. Do you think you could...
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
I haven't forgotten the last time I loaned my boat to you and Bob Montgomery and Laurence Olivier. You filled it full of swordfish. The next time I took it out, it smelled like a hot Friday on the waterfront. I needed a surgical mask to walk up the gangplank.
Oh, that. Well, Lionel, about your stamp collection.
Oh, then you did loan Doug your boat, Mr. DeMille.
I certainly did.
Oh.
Once.
What else happened?
Lionel, what were you going to say about your stamp collection?
Oh, yes. I have a block of 1855 Mexican.
Lionel, while I think of it, do you have a yacht?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, but about those stamps, I've never seen anything like...
Mr. DeMille, don't you think that Lionel's a great actor? I mean, his performance tonight, the work he does on the screen. Why, if I just had 1/10 of the...
Yes, Doug.
Yes, Lionel?
My boat's in dry dock for the winter.
In dry dock?
Yes, in Baltimore.
Oh. Oh, Miss Dietrich.
Yes. Miss Dietrich's a great artist, too, but she doesn't have a boat.
You know, I'm afraid, Doug, the only boat you're going to get is the next one you take to England. When will that be?
Well, there you've got me. It'll probably be next summer. I think I'll get back then. I'll be pretty busy here for a while, but someday I hope to have things worked out so I'll be able to make 2 or 3 films here a year and 1 abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can sandwich in an appearance in the Lux Radio Theater every now and then, why, I may even forgive CB for not letting me take his boat this time. But, well, we'll see. Good night, CB, and what I said about my boat still goes.
Thank you, CB.
Good night, shipmates. Good night.
Miss Dietrich's current film is Angel. Louis Silvers appeared for courtesy of 20th Century Fox Studios, where he was in charge of music for Love and Hisses. Now, an important announcement from Mr. DeMille. Next Monday night, the Lux Radio Theater closes its book of 1937 presentations. To mark the occasion, we bring you a radio adaptation of that remarkable and highly successful motion picture produced by Samuel Goldwyn, Beloved Enemy. The romantic, thrilling drama of a young Irish patriot and a beautiful English girl torn between their love of country and their love for each other. Our stars, Brian Aherne of the original cast and one of the screen's most beautiful actresses, Madeleine Carroll. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Madeleine Carroll and Brian Aherne in Beloved Enemy. And now, before we say good night, I'd like to reach across the miles and take the hand of each one of you, whether you're man, woman, or child, in a warm clasp of friendship, and say a happy Christmas to you. We learn to care most for those we serve most. And since my main endeavor each week is assembling and staging the Lux Radio Theater production for you, I look upon you all as close friends and attentive neighbors who make it a joy for me to come on this stage every week and say greetings from Hollywood. I hope you'll have all the joys and blessings of the Christmas season. The cast and staff of the Lux Radio Theater and our sponsors, the makers of Lux Flakes and Lux Toilet Soap, join me in these greetings. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, California, the Lux Radio Theater presents Spencer Tracy and Fay Wray in the Sinclair Lewis drama Arrowsmith. Lux presents Hollywood. Our sponsors wish to thank you for your splendid support of our product, in appreciation of which they bring you these Monday night productions. Headlining our program tonight are Spencer Tracy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer Studios and Fay Wray. As guests, John R. Kissinger of Huntington, Indiana, the United States Army private who risked his life that a cure for yellow fever might be found. And Terry Hunt, the man who keeps the screen stars physically fit. Louis Silvers conducts our orchestra. And now, here's our producer. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. I like Sinclair Lewis' description of himself. I'm just a country hick, he says, living on a farm. And every time I leave it, I get into trouble. A nonconforming literary thunderbolt for many years, Mr. Lewis won the Pulitzer Prize for Arrowsmith, but turned down the $1,000 as a protest against what he called the restrictive terms of the award. The son of a physician, with a grandfather, uncle, and brother, also doctors, it's easy to understand why Mr. Lewis turned to medicine for the background of his story. Before writing Arrowsmith, he spent many months in a New York medical center doing research. There he met the famous biographer of medicine, Dr. Paul de Cruyff, and with him traveled through the West Indies on a tireless search for color and material. Tonight's presentation is based on the magnificent screenplay and stars Spencer Tracy in the title role. Mr. Tracy commands an unquestioned position as one of the finest actors ever seen in motion pictures. For his appearance here, we thank Metro Goldwyn Mayer Studios, who next present him opposite Joan Crawford in Mannequin.
I'm also delighted to present, in the part of Leora, a girl with one of the most enviable records of hit performances in Hollywood. Beautiful, talented, unspoiled, Miss Fay Wray. Helen Wood is heard as Joyce, Frank Riker as Dr. Gottlieb, and John Quallen of the original cast as Novak. And now the curtain vanishes, and the Lux Radio Theater brings you Arrowsmith, starring Spencer Tracy and Fay Wray. The Zenith Hospital, somewhere in the Middle West. At the end of a long corridor, a student nurse is on her hands and knees, vigorously scrubbing the floor. From the elevator comes a young doctor, just out of medical school. He steps along briskly, pardonably impressed with his brand new degree. As he passes the nurse, she splashes water onto the floor and into the cuff of his trousers. Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why don't you look where you're slopping that water? You got me soaking wet.
Well, I didn't mean to.
Never mind now. I want to find Ward D. Can you direct me?
I could, yes.
Well, if it isn't interrupting your work.
This isn't my work. Nurses aren't supposed to scrub floors. The superintendent caught me smoking a cigarette. You go back for Ward D, turn right, and then left.
I've been informed that the first duty of a nurse is to stand when a doctor speaks to her.
Oh, gee, I've been getting fresh again. Oh, I didn't know you were a doctor.
It may interest you to know that I'm assistant to Dr. Gottlieb at the university, and that I'm on my way to Ward D to take a strain of a very dangerous microbe. And after I've done what I came to do, I'm going to report you.
Look out for the pails. You shouldn't go around kicking over pails. Now you are wet.
What's your name, please?
What's yours?
Arrowsmith. Say, you know, you're not reporting me.
Oh, gee, there I go again. Well, scrubbing floors just makes me rebellious, and being rebellious naturally makes me fresh, and there you are. I'm sorry, really. My name's Leora Tozer. It's a silly name, isn't it?
What's wrong with it? I kind of like it.
Oh, do you? Well, thanks.
When can you get away for dinner?
With you?
I've decided to overlook reporting you. How about tonight?
Well,
Why not?
I don't mind.
What time?
It's Tozer. She's at the head nurse.
You will telephone me the patient's temperature every hour, and I'll look in again at 7. At 7. You understand this?
Yes, doctor, at 7.
We got the same results every time. The injected rats lived and the others died. That's what gives you the check, see?
Yeah, I think so. You're really interested in research, aren't you?
Oh, it's the only branch of medicine. You get to feel that when you work with Gottlieb. Prevention of disease. Tracking down the microbe and finding out what'll wipe it out. It's worth 10 pounds a cure.
Yes. I wish I understood more about it.
I guess I was a little too technical before. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I liked it. You made me feel intelligent.
Well, at that, I guess you've got to get used to hearing my ideas.
Am I going to hear lots of them?
You're going to marry me.
Well, you don't tell me.
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, now, you know, I shouldn't wonder if you're right. Of course, it's pretty early in the game to be dead sure, but I shouldn't wonder. I guess you're pretty self-centered and pig-headed, but I liked it so much I'd be a fool to pass you up, wouldn't I?
I wasn't being funny.
I didn't think you were.
I meant what I said.
I hope you did. Because I wasn't being funny either.
Good morning, Dr. Gottlieb.
Oh, come in, Martin. Come in.
Well, sir?
I have sent for you, Martin, to tell you that I am leaving this place where I teach young doctors how to kill their patients.
You're leaving?
Yes. I have been called to the McGurk Institute in New York, where I shall do only my own research. The McGurk Institute is the greatest scientific plant in the world. I'm very happy.
I should think you would be, sir.
I'm very happy for you, too, Martin. I have arranged to take you with me as my assistant.
Oh.
You will have opportunity there. Well?
Dr. Gottlieb, you're the greatest man I've ever known. I'd black your shoes for you, but I can't go to New York with you.
Why, Martin, why can't you come with me?
I'm going to get married.
Oh.
And a man can't marry on what a lab assistant makes. I've got to go into practice after all.
Practice? Practice. Give pills to ladies and hold their hands for them. You who have the stuff in you that makes scientists.
Well, that's how it is, sir.
Oh, well. Who is she?
Leora Tozer. She comes from a little town in Dakota. We're going back there. It's not much of a place, but I'll be the only doctor for 30 miles around.
Well, I know better than to argue with a man in love. You'll be a very bad doctor for a while. And then you will find your way back to the laboratory. Now, let me know when you do, and wherever I am, I'll have a place for you.
Thank you.
No. Good luck to you, Martin, and I wish you happiness.
Martin, come in here.
What is it, honey?
Look what I found in the attic. Paul's old Prince Albert coat.
Hey, you don't expect me to be married in that, do you?
I certainly do. And you can wear it when you make your calls.
Oh, but Lee, darling, I'm a country doctor.
Of course you're a country doctor. But you're the biggest man around here. You've got to listen to folks' troubles and help them out. You've got to mend their bones and settle their domestic problems and pull their teeth all in one day. You've got to see that the milk's pure and the meat's fresh and the backyards are kept tidy. That's what being a country doctor means, Martin. Oh, Dr. Arrowsmith, I'll be so proud to be your wife.
366 human souls in this town, all depending on me to keep them fit. Oh, Lee, sweet, I didn't know a man could be so happy.
No, the doctor isn't in. Oh. Yes. Yes, I'll tell him. Good night. Is that you, Martin? Oh, Martin, you're drenched. Come in. Here, let me take your coat.
It's all right.
How's the little Weller girl? Is she better?
She died an hour ago.
Oh, Martin.
Gottlieb was right, I guess. I am a rotten doctor.
You mustn't say that, Martin. You did your best. You did everything you knew.
Oh, but I didn't know enough. That was it. It's happened before. It'll happen again.
Please, darling, don't talk like that.
I should have operated tonight. Any other man would have operated, but I didn't. I waited too long.
They won't blame you for it.
No, that's the trouble. They don't blame me. They just sit and stare at me and wonder why their baby should die with me there. Why their baby should die in my arms. I'm not God. I can't work miracles.
Martin, listen to me. You've done well here, darling. You mustn't let one case discourage you. Try to remember the others, the people you've helped, because they remember. And they love you, Martin.
I'm not discouraged, Lee. I guess I've just stagnated, that's all. I've been doing the same thing day in and day out for 3 years. Stitching cuts and setting bones and prescribing for croups and colds. It's got me, that's all.
Martin, it's my fault, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
I never should have asked you to come here. I should have let you go on with your research. That's what you wanted, wasn't
darling,
it?
Don't be silly.
I've tied you down.
Come here. You're all I want, Lee, darling. You're all I want. Regardless of anything else. I'll get it. Oh, hello, Novak. Come on in.
Thanks. I want to speak to you, Doc, if you got a few minutes.
Sure.
Evening, Mrs. Arrowsmith.
How are you, Mr. Novak? How's your wife been these days?
Her? Oh, she's fine. The doc fixed her up good.
What's on your mind, Novak?
Well, it's my cows, Doc.
Your cows?
Yeah, they're sick. Last 2-3 weeks, I lose 12 cows. All my cattle sick.
Well, look, Novak, I'm not a vet.
I know, but you smart feller, Doc.
But I don't know anything about cattle. Well, what are you doing for them now?
Well, the state veterinarian, he come. He give him what he calls serum, but he's no good. The poor cows, they used to die quicker.
What does he say it is?
He call it blackleg fever, but it don't do no good to call it by a name. All I know is pretty soon it's time to settle some cattle to pay mortgage on my house. And pretty soon I got no cattle left to sell. That's why I come to you, Doc.
But Novak...
Please, Doc, you come. Please,
All right. I'll be over at your place in the morning.
Oh, thanks, Doc. You help him all right. You fix him. I know that. Good night. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Novak.
Cattle. Well, that's a new one, isn't it? Still, it might be something I could... What did he say it was?
Blackleg fever, I think.
Blackleg fever. I wonder if they've isolated the germ.
Martin, don't you think it's time you went to bed? You've been working with this serum stuff all day.
Research, honey. Turn off that boiling water, will you?
Your research has made an awful mess out of my kitchen.
It's my laboratory now. Gottlieb used to say that any man who really wants to find out things can make a lab out of toothpicks and a piece of string. I use pots and pans.
There's Mrs. Bull just phoned. She says her back is worse again.
Tell her to go out and hoe potatoes.
Martin.
I'm busy.
But, Martin, you can't throw over your practice for a lot of cows.
It isn't the cows, Lee, sweet. It's the fun. Now, you go back to bed, darling, please. I'll be pretty busy. I was right, Lee. Look at this.
Yes, Martin.
That vet serum wasn't any good.
Yes, Martin.
We'll try mine in the morning.
Yes.
I'll take it over to Henry Novak's and shoot it into half his cattle.
Yes,
If
Martin.
they live and the other half dies, we'll know we've got something.
Yes, Martin.
What's the matter? Are you tired?
Yes, Martin.
Poor Lee. Well, that's 5 days, Novak. Not a new case yet.
Not a one, Doc. By golly, Doc, I think you better be state vet around here.
I'm sorry about the ones that died, Novak.
Yeah, well, you should ought to have shot your stuff into them, too.
No. That's where you're wrong. You see, the ones we gave the serum to were all right. The ones we didn't give it to aren't. But you have to try both ways when you're experimenting. That's how you find out which way is best.
Yeah, well, line kicking, Doc. How much I owe you?
Oh, not a cent. Forget it. Just for fun.
Pretty good fun for me, all right. Hey, look, it's the state vet. He heard about your stuff, Doc.
Where is he? Hi, Doc. I got a couple of live cows over here that might interest you.
Nothing you got would interest me. And I want to tell you, young feller, I'm state vet, and I don't like no youngster like you telling me my business. So keep clear of these cows, or you'll land yourself in a pack of trouble.
Oh, I see. I didn't know it was like that. I was only trying to help.
You let Doc alone. He's all right.
Sure he is. Yeah, you're getting to be quite the vet, Doc.
Yeah, best in town. I'll be back on the stomach aches now, though.
That's where you belong.
How's that?
I say the stomach aches is where you belong.
Now, I hate to say anything, Doc, but you've got a tone in your voice that I don't like.
It's about time you understand.
Suppose you try to understand that I made a blackleg serum that's better than yours because mine cures blackleg and yours doesn't.
If you think you can discredit me and then hold me up...
I'm not holding you up. I'm giving you this.
Well, this is what I'll give you, my fist, see?
Listen, I'm a scientist. When I see a scientist job I can do, I do it. That's what science is. Now, if you don't want any blackleg serum from me, don't take it from me. Take it from the government. I've sent my reports and samples back to Washington already.
You dirty...
No, boy, you knocked him forward, Doc.
Yeah, sure. That's science, too. I've found my line now, and I'm raring to go. You can find me at my house, Doc, anytime you've got any more differences to settle.
Quick, Martin, open it up. I'm so excited. You've never had a letter from New York before.
It's from the McGurk Institute. Listen. We have been watching your work on blackleg fever. May we offer our congratulations. Dr. Gottlieb has recommended you for a position in our experimental laboratory. Good old Gottlieb. May we hear from you soon. Yours truly, Dr. A. DeWitt Tubbs, Director. What do you think of that?
Martin, you're going to accept it?
Why, of course we're going to accept it.
But it means giving up everything. Just on a chance.
Oh, but Lee, darling, it's the chance we've been waiting for. We've got to take it.
Of course, if you want to. I'm going to love New York, darling.
So we conclude Act One of Arrowsmith. Before Spencer Tracy and Fay Wray go on with Act Two, we go backstage in Hollywood for a moment to a projection room at one of our famous studios, where a director, his secretary, and an agent are watching a screen.
She has a beautiful voice, Joe, but I can't very well put that girl in the middle of a chorus scene. Why not? What's the matter with her? Well, look at the close-ups. Look at her skin. But the girl can sing. Joe, I haven't time. I'm late now. Come around sometime and I'll talk it over with you. I'll be on set 3, Miss Sherman.
Well, of all the silly
Now,
things...
Joe, take it easy. It's too bad, but... Well, I should think a girl like her would have known about Lux toilet soap. She looks as if she has cosmetic skin.
That's a very smart crack.
No, Joe, I mean it. Seriously. She has those little blemishes and things. It comes from not getting makeup off thoroughly. The pores get all choked up and the skin gets so coarse-looking.
Say, I didn't come here to get a lecture on skin culture.
Well, you're getting one. You'd better tell some of your talented new singers about Lux toilet soap. That's what the movie stars use to guard against cosmetic skin.
Hey, listen, that girl can sing, and no director can tell me
Remember,
otherwise.
Joe, the chief himself complained about her complexion. Why, what good is a voice?
Well, maybe you're right.
You're an agent for a lot of other Hollywood women. Ask them. They'll tell you that they use Lux toilet soap regularly, and that its active lather is what keeps their skin so swell.
Well, I'll remember that. And so will the women, I hope.
Back to Mr. DeMille and our play. Spencer Tracy and Fay Wray continue in Arrowsmith. With a keen anticipation of glory still to come, Arrowsmith turns eagerly to his first love, the research laboratory. In the impressive corridors of the famous McGurk Institute, he walks slowly along with his old friend, Dr. Gutley. The old man's arm is about his shoulders, and he smiles delightedly at the young scientist.
So, Mark, you found your way back to me, huh? Just as I said you would.
That's right, Dr. Gutley.
And you have come on your own feet, too. It was a good piece of work you did with those cows of yours. You have earned your position here. Yeah. And I'm glad. Very glad.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Dr. Arrowsmith, I presume.
Yeah. Arrowsmith, this is Dr. Tubbs, our director.
Oh, how do you do? How do you do? Allow me to welcome you, Doctor. It's always a pleasure.
No, not now. Please, Dr. Tubbs. For the moment, you leave my prodigal son to me, huh? I want to show him his laboratory.
Oh, well, of course. Good day, Arrowsmith.
Good day, Dr. Tubbs.
Here. Come in, Martin. Well, this is your laboratory.
Say.
You like it, huh?
Like it?
This will be better than giving pills, eh, Martin?
Dr. Gutley, do you really think I know enough to work here? I mean, I want to succeed, but...
Succeed? Yeah. I know that word. It is a word little schoolboys use. Now, let us be clear, Martin. You will do your own work here and have nobody but yourself to satisfy. You will learn to work twice as hard as you can, and then when you get stuck, well, I have a fine collection of detective stories in my office. Oh, come in, Terry.
Tubbs is looking for Dr. Gottlieb.
Oh, he's mad at me again, huh? Arrowsmith, this is Terry Wickett. He is a roughneck, but a good scientist. You'll like him.
How are you, Arrowsmith?
How are you? Well, see you later, Martin. And now I go and smooth the feathers of our ruffled director.
You brand new, Arrowsmith?
That's right.
Well, what do you think of dear old McGurk?
Well, frankly, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I was, too. This place was built to impress people. Wait till they start giving receptions for society. You'll love it.
You don't, evidently.
I'm a scientist, not a teacup juggler. But I got my lab and a chance to work by myself. I can put up with almost anything if I got that.
So can I.
You'll be all right, then. Keep plugging, that's all. And don't let Tubbs poke his nose in too much. Well, let me know if I can help you, will you?
Sure, thanks.
See you around.
God, please give me clear eyes and freedom from haste. God, give me anger against all pretense. God, keep me looking for my own mistakes. God, keep me at it till my results are proven.
Martin? Martin, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing much. I was just thinking.
Are you ready for dinner yet? Are you ready for dinner? Martin, what's the matter with you? For weeks you've done nothing but sit around and stare at things. It just scares me to death to see you this way.
You won't be scared much longer, Lee.
What do you mean?
I've made up my mind to chuck it before they fire me. I've been at McGurk 2 years, and I haven't accomplished a thing. I'm worse at science than I was at doctoring.
You mustn't say such things, Martin. It's going to be all right. I know it is. Why, for all you know, you may be plumb on the threshold of a great discovery this very minute. I got a kind of feeling that you are. Don't look at me like that. I have. And you'll feel much better after you've eaten your dinner. I bought a wonderful fish this afternoon.
I'm not hungry, Lee.
Neither am I.
I guess I'll go out for a walk.
I'll come along.
In this snow?
Oh, I love snow. We'll hike across the park. It'll be like the Canadian Northwest tonight, Martin.
Lee, sweet, I forgot you were here.
I was a little behind you. You were walking kind of fast. But I guess you'd be coming here to the lab building.
And you tagged along all this way, you poor kid. I'll call a taxi to take you home.
Oh, no, I don't want a taxi, Martin. Let me come upstairs with you.
I may be late.
I don't care. I won't bother you. I promise you not to open my mouth. Please don't send me home. It's such a scary night. I'll imagine things.
What things?
Oh, things.
All right. Come along.
Martin, I don't want to interrupt, but
what is it?
I thought maybe I could help.
Oh, sure. There's a flask in the incubator, the one on your right. Bring it over, will you?
A flask? I don't see. Oh, I've got it. Is this it, Martin?
Let me see. No, honey, the flask on the right I want.
Well, this one was on the right.
What? Why, it couldn't have been.
Yes, it was. There's only two of them there. This one was standing up on the right side.
Let me see that. Well, that's funny.
What's the matter?
Get out of the way. Here, wait a minute. Get me a clean microscope slide. They're in the top drawer.
A microscope slide? Here.
Now, get out of the light. Stand over there. No, darling, over there.
What is it, Martin? Martin.
Why, it's impossible. It can't be right. It can't be.
What is it?
I don't know. I left this flask chock full of some germs I was working on. They ought to have been doing great. Now they're dead. What killed them?
Well, does it matter?
Does it matter? I'll say it matters. Germs don't commit suicide. Something killed them. Something got into that flask and blew those bugs to pieces. Now, what was it? What was it?
But Martin, suppose it did kill them.
Don't you understand, darling? If it killed one type of germ, it may kill others. It may kill them all. It may even kill... No, I won't throw away my luck. I'll work it out.
Tomorrow,
No,
darling.
Tonight and tomorrow night and the night after that. I've got to find out what killed those bugs. Hello?
Martin, what do you mean by getting up so early?
I got to get back to work. Gutley's checking my results this morning. I think we've got something, honey, something big. We're calling the stuff bacteriophage. Did I tell you?
You haven't been to sleep for a week. Just look at you.
What's the matter with me? I shaved.
I won't have any more of this. Do you hear me? I'm not going to stick around here and watch you kill yourself. I'll walk out on you. I mean it.
Come here. Come here. You mustn't ever say that, no matter how mad you get, Lee. I love you. I know I'm neglecting you, but when this is over, I'll take time off every day, and we'll go to the movies, and we'll have friends in, and I'll send you flowers every morning. I'll even learn to play bridge. Stand by me, Lee.
Oh, darling.
Got any coffee?
Sit down. There's the paper if you want it.
That's the girl.
You certainly have a sneaky little way of getting around me, Martin Arrowsmith. As if I wanted flowers every morning. All I want is to make you take care of yourself. You're a rotten husband. Do you know that? Martin.
Did you see this?
What?
This thing in the paper. Listen to it. Greatest medical discovery of modern times. Young scientist wipes out disease with bacteriophage. Director Tubbs of McGurk Institute interviewed by press.
Why, that's wonderful.
Wonderful?
Look, there's your name. He's giving you full credit.
He's made a fake out of me. That's what he's done. By that cheap publicity hound, he can't do this to me.
Martin, where are you going?
I'm going to see Tubbs.
Wait, I'm going with you.
Give us some more dope, Rick, will you, Doctor? Please, gentlemen, please.
Let me through here. Get out of my way.
Martin, wait.
Good morning, Arrowsmith.
Arrowsmith? Hey, how about a statement? I've got nothing to say. I want to speak to you, Dr. Tubbs.
Of course. Excuse us, gentlemen. Come in here, Arrowsmith.
Martin, please. Martin.
Well, and how are you, Mrs. Arrowsmith? Come to share your husband's glory?
There's no glory to share. Are you responsible for this stuff in the papers?
Of course, my boy. I don't deny the responsibility. I claim it. A slight overstatement to catch the public's eye.
A slight overstatement? You tell the papers I can wipe out all disease when you know I haven't even cured whooping cough yet, and you call that a slight overstatement?
I understand your surprise, my dear fellow.
My surprise? I'm only surprised I don't twist your fat neck.
Martin, my husband's a very violent man, Dr. Tubbs.
I know your husband, Mrs. Arrowsmith, and I mean the world to appreciate him as I do. After all, he's still got his name to make.
You made that for me. You made my name smell from one end of this country to the other as a quack and a faker and a racketeer. Now you call those reporters in and you tell them I'm through with you and your front-page science and that I've resigned from your Cheap Jack Institute.
I'd so much rather tell them about the paper I've just signed. That makes you the head of your own department and raises your salary from $5,000 a year to $12,000.
I won't take it. I'm through.
I don't accept your resignation, Martin. I pin my faith on you. I do more than that.
Martin, my boy.
Now, what is it, Dr. Gottlieb? Can't you see we are busy at the moment?
Yes, busy turning my friend Martin into a megaphone.
Don't worry, Dr. Gutley.
Something has happened, and something perhaps not altogether bad. Martin is not the discoverer we thought he was.
What? You don't mean someone has stolen a Martinus?
Here it is, in the medical journal. The Frenchman Derel of the Pasteur Institute in Paris has just published his report. It is the same thing, Dr. Tubbs. You got into the newspapers too soon. I'm sorry, Martin.
The same thing. This is most unfortunate. Most. Of course, there can be no talk of a new department now, and no raise in salary either. If you'll excuse me, I'll speak to those reporters.
Yeah, how about some kind of paper here?
You may not be the discoverer of bacteriophage, Martin, but you may still be the man to test it out. Come and see me later in my laboratory. Then we will discuss what further work you still will have to do.
I love that man, Gottlieb. He might have gloated.
Poor Martin.
All I've done these months has been wasted, Lee. You won't get your new flat or any of those things now. It's tough luck being married to a scientist, isn't it?
I haven't minded.
Well, it's over now. Well, I had a lot of fun out of it, anyhow.
Believe me, gentlemen, what I say is true. There is bubonic plague in the West Indies.
Bubonic plague? Well, you should know, Dr. Sandelius.
Yeah, I do know. Already I have spoken to Dr. Tubbs about it. He is anxious for the Institute to send a representative there.
He would be if there's any publicity in it.
Now, please, Terry, just one moment. What do you think, Arrowsmith?
Well, it might be a good chance to test out the bacteriophage.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Your bacteriophage, Arrowsmith.
It isn't mine, Dr. Sandelius. The discovery belongs to Derel.
No. I say it again. Your bacteriophage may save the island. That is why you must go there, to the West Indies.
But I don't know anything about bubonic plague.
What I know, I teach you. Get me plague germs. Get me rats. Get me rat fleas. Yeah, fleas. Little yumpy fleas. And I show you what I have learned in China and in India. Yeah, I show you. Then I go with you.
So, you're off tomorrow.
All packed and ready, Dr. Gottlieb.
Taking your wife along, Martin?
Oh, no, of course not. She'd like to go, but that's out.
Good. Sit down. I have called you in here to give you your final instructions, Martin.
Yes, sir?
Can you be trusted, Martin, to perform a little experiment where you are going? Can you be trusted not to let anything, even your good, kind heart, spoil it?
What is the experiment?
You agree that it will be of value in future epidemics to know what this stuff of yours is worth?
Oh, yes, of course.
Now, if you could give your injections only to half your patients and sternly deprive the other half of them, then you would know.
I certainly would, but...
That is the experiment we mean.
Oh, I couldn't do that, Dr. Gottlieb.
Why couldn't you?
Sit by and watch half my patients die. It wouldn't be human.
So you're just a country doctor after all.
Country doctor, nothing, but I've got some pity in me. They'll be dying down there. They'll be dying and begging me for help.
Sure they will.
So many men are kind and neighborly, and so few men ever add to human knowledge. You have the chance now, Martin.
But Gottlieb...
I'm an old man, Martin. I've been an honest scientist all my days, but I count on you to carry on my torch after me. Are you going to fail me? Are you, Martin?
No. I won't fail. I'll do my best, Gottlieb.
Your stateroom's this way, Dr. Arrowsmith.
Thank you. Leora, what are you doing?
I wasn't going to come. I tried hard, honestly, I did, Martin. But I couldn't let you go without seeing you off. I can't let you go now. I'm going with you, Martin.
Oh, darling, talk sense. How can you?
I'm just going.
Darling, there's disease down there. Bubonic plague.
You're going. And where you can go, I can go. I belong with you, darling. I can't let you go alone. I'll never see you again, I know it. Oh, Martin, please take me with you.
Leora.
Martin.
Oh, Leora, you crazy little fool.
Oh, Martin, I'm simply going to love the West Indies.
for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. Our weekly custom of giving you little inside glimpses of Hollywood between the acts of our play finds us host tonight to a favorite physical director of the stars, Terry Hunt. Now presiding over the gymnasium at United Artists Studio, Terry for 12 years has been keeping the stars in glowing condition. His subjects have included Marlene Dietrich, Mary Pickford, Clark Gable, Jeanette MacDonald, Norma Shearer, and Paul Muni. Gary Cooper and Frederick March take orders from him daily. People are always interested in superlatives, Terry. So from your observation, who physically is the most perfect among the women stars?
That's a little too tough to answer, Mr. DeMille. But I can name certain stars who, in my opinion, have at least one feature which you could call perfect. Just put them all together and you've got something.
You mean a composite picture? Made up of what? From whom?
Well, I'd say this mythical girl would have the carriage of Norma Shearer, the face of Virginia Bruce or Joan Bennett, the eyes of Claudette Colbert, and the shoulders of Fay Wray. She'd have the figure of Ginger Rogers, the neckline of Merle Oberon, and the torso of Jean Parker or Carol Lombard. She'd also have the legs of Marlene Dietrich and the hands of Dorothy L'Amour. Now, the odd part about all this is that most of the beautiful features I've mentioned can be developed. A woman who pays attention to her diet, who exercises regularly, gets enough rest, and who otherwise takes care of her appearance can be just as attractive as the women on the screen.
And what's your particular prescription for exercising?
Based on my work with the stars, I have found that posture and reducing exercises bring the best results for women. I prefer the twisting, rolling, and stretching routines, and, provided the subject has a strong heart, jumping rope. For years, I've advocated extreme cleanliness of the skin, and the most healthful and enjoyable way of obtaining it is to take a shower with plenty of soap. Not just a hot or a cold shower, but both. I've used many soaps to find the best, and I'm glad to say that Lux Toilet Soap is not only my choice, but that of the stars as well. The kind of shower I've suggested, with a heavy, rich lather of Lux soap, will not only thoroughly clean your skin, but will aid in preventing you from getting stiff.
Now, Frederick March tells me that every morning before reporting to the set of The Buccaneer, you come to his home and put him through his setting up exercises. My thanks for keeping him as fit as Lafitte, the pirate whose part he plays.
Mr. March is a perfect contradiction to the reports you sometimes hear that Hollywood stars live a life of ease and indolence. When making a picture, he's up every morning at 6 o'clock and goes through at least 45 minutes of real training before breakfast. I wish everyone could get a look at the stars in a gymnasium. You'd all realize how seriously they really work to keep physically fit. And now, if you think I can be of any help in telling you more about health through exercises, I'll be glad to answer your questions as best I can and without charge. If you'll address me, Terry Hunt at United Artists Studios, Hollywood, just send a stamped, self-addressed envelope. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Back to the story of Arrowsmith, starring Spencer Tracy and Fay Wray. Town of Blackwater in the West Indian tropics. In a tiny bamboo hut on the edge of the town, Leora waits alone for Arrowsmith to return. From outside is heard the dismal wailing of the natives, praying vainly for release from the plague. Suddenly the door is flung open, and Arrowsmith enters.
Well, Martin? Well?
It's a bust. The authorities won't let me try my experiment. They say it's inhuman.
What are you going to do?
I'm clearing out, Lee. Get my stuff packed, will you?
But where are you going?
There's a tiny island about 20 miles across the bay, the island of Carib. It's all native and plague raging like wildfire. I'll have a free hand there. Come on, hurry up, will you, darling?
Martin.
What?
You're not planning to leave me behind.
Lee, sweet, I've got to.
I didn't come here to be left behind, Martin.
You're not afraid?
Certainly I'm afraid. I'm scared blue. But that isn't the point. I came down here to look after you.
I'll be all right.
How do I know that? It might get you, and if it did, nobody but I could nurse you. And even if it didn't get you, I'd go mad not being with you. Oh, don't you see? I haven't any life outside of you. I've got to be with you. Always.
Be reasonable, Lee, darling. I don't know where we'll be living or what we'll get into. I can't take you along out there. It's no place for a woman. Now, if I'd known you were going to behave like this, I'd have choked you before I let you come.
You did everything else but choke me. Oh, all right. Darn being a woman.
That's the girl. Give me the comfort of knowing that you're all right. Now, come on, pack this stuff, will you?
Yes, Mark.
This is only the first of our big hikes, Lee. If I can pull this stunt off, I'll be a big man in science. Then we'll go to Europe, Lee. To your France and Italy and all those places. Where do you see? Our life's just beginning, Lee.
Oh, Martin. I do love you, darling.
2 lines there. Keep them in 2 lines, Sandelius.
2 lines. 2 lines. Ah, what a place this is, Martin. They don't even understand what I'm talking about.
We've got to make them understand. We'll inject the phage in the line on the right. You keep swabbing their arms and passing them up to me. The line on the left does without the injection.
Poor beggar.
Now, there's no time for sentiment. Come on.
Number 1.
1.
2.
Wait a minute. 2.
3.
3.
4. Stay in line. Stay in line. 110. 111.
Easy. 110, Sandelius. 111. Keep them coming, man.
112.
100 and... Oh.
How do you do?
I didn't know there was a white woman on the island.
I'm Joyce Lanyon.
Oh, yes?
You might have seen Mr. Twyford's house on the hill up there. I'm visiting with his daughter.
You don't belong here, then?
Hardly. I'm from New York. Well, do I get your injection or don't I? I'll get on the other line if you like.
Stay where you are.
Thank you. I wish you'd find something I could do to help you.
You?
I know what you're doing here, this experiment. I think it's marvelous.
Well, perhaps you wouldn't if you were on the other line.
That's not very fair. I volunteered to do that.
I'm sorry.
Then let me help. Do I strike you as so hopelessly useless?
I think if I had a twin sister, she'd be just like you. That's how you strike me.
That's an original compliment.
It's no compliment. It's a scientific fact. Now move along, please, and give science a chance to carry on. All right, Sandelius, pass them up. Sandelius.
Yeah, Martin.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I think maybe I'm sick, Martin.
Good God.
Yeah. Now maybe I take some of your injection, too.
Catch him. Catch him there. Sandelius. I think it was his whole life. He used to troop all over the country lecturing on the heroes of health. Poor Sandelius. He's one of them himself now.
You took it pretty calmly.
If one of your field officers dies in battle, you can't stop to mourn for him. You've got to carry on.
And you did. Wonderfully. All these long days. All by yourself.
I had you to help me.
We better go in now.
No, not yet, Joyce. I'm too excited to turn in yet. Don't you see, my life had its first great climax today. The experiment. All our troubles are over now. I know that's a very unscientific boast. Just for tonight, though, I can't help believing it.
And I can't help believing that anything ever happened before this plague. Or that anything will ever happen after it.
Steady, Joyce. Don't lose your nerve. You're too gallant for that.
How wrong you are. There's nothing gallant about me. I was never meant for this sort of thing. I've never learned about realities.
But the way you stood by me in the face of danger, disease.
That wasn't gallantry. That was just hysteria. Hysteria over falling in love with you, Martin.
What?
I have fallen terribly, insanely in love with you.
But you don't mean that.
I don't believe in mincing words. I don't believe in not saying what's on my mind. I know there's nothing to be done about it. I'm not a child. But I was unhappy when I came here. I'm not unhappy anymore. That's something, isn't it?
I've never learned about women like you. You belong to the great class of things I've had to give up for my work. You make my life seem suddenly rather empty, but very exciting.
You're too heroic to mean that. You're stone.
I wish I were.
Do you? You're finished here now, aren't you? You'll be leaving soon.
I should, of course, but it might be a good idea to stick around for a while. See how the experiment turns out.
How long would that take, Martin?
I'm not sure. 10 days, perhaps.
10 days. I'm glad, Martin.
I think I...
Hello? Yes, this is Carib. Clifford speaking. Who? I can't hear you. Who? Oh, just a moment, please. Arrowsmith? Dr. Arrowsmith. Just a moment, please. What's that?
What's the matter, Twifford?
I can't make out. It's Blackwater calling you.
Blackwater, give me the phone.
What is it, Martin?
Hello? Who is this? Leora? What's the matter, darling? What? Leora, I can't hear you. You'll have to speak louder. What is... Leora, listen to me. Listen, darling. Hello, darling. Leora, hello. Hello. Oh, God.
What is it?
My wife, she's sick.
But...
I've got to get to her. She's alone, all alone, and she's sick. Is there a launch here?
I can take you.
How soon?
Right away.
Come on, then. Hurry.
Hello? I'm trying to call Kareem again. Can't you call it for me? Hello? Operator. They must answer. They must. Oh, please. Oh, Martin, why don't you come to me? I tried not to cry, but I'm afraid, Martin. I don't want to die alone. You will come. I know you will. Oh, but hurry. Please hurry, Martin. Help me. Oh, Martin. Where are you? Where are you, Martin?
Leora. Oh, God. Leora, look at me. Leora.
Is she all right?
She's dead.
Oh. Well, hadn't we better pick her up?
Yes.
I'll help you.
No, I'd rather do it alone. You see? She hardly weighs anything. Oh, Lee, darling, I loved you. You knew that, didn't you? You knew I couldn't have loved anyone else. Didn't you know that, Lee? But now you're gone. This thing I've been fighting has killed you, too. But it won't kill anymore, Lee, darling. I promise you that. It won't kill anymore. I'll shoot them all full of serum, all of them. I can save them all. I can save everyone. Everyone except you, my darling.
McGurk Institute.
One
moment,
Miss, when are we going to see
The
Dr.
line's
Arrowsmith?
busy. Dr. Arrowsmith has just returned, and he's too busy to see anybody today.
We've got to have some sort of a statement. Really, we must see Dr. Arrowsmith. Can't we hold just a moment?
Hello, Martin.
Oh, hello, Terry.
Thought I'd find you in the lab. We heard about your wife. Sorry, fellow.
Thanks, Terry.
Well, how'd it go down there?
Pretty bad. I bungled it, Terry.
I was afraid you had. Stubbs doesn't seem to think so.
Well, he wouldn't know. I lost my head, gave everybody the serum. I wonder what Gutley will say.
Nothing.
He gave me everything I knew. He gave me my chance, and I failed him. Whatever I accomplished down there, I failed him. I didn't add to knowledge. I did the humane thing. I lost sight of science. I hope he throws me out.
He won't, Martin. He'll never know you failed him.
What do you mean?
He cracked up, went to pieces. Too much work, I guess. He doesn't understand anything now.
Gutley. Then he's gone, too. There's not much left, is there?
There's still research, Martin. There's work still to be done.
Ah, here you are, Martin. The reporters are waiting to see you.
Are they?
Is there anything wrong?
I just told him about Gottlieb.
Ah, yes. Very unfortunate. But we've a man to take his place, thank heaven. You, Arrowsmith. Does that surprise you? Well, from now on, you're a department head with a salary of $15,000 a year. I guess that'll buck you up.
I guess it won't. You can take it if you want, Arrowsmith, but I came in here to tell you what I was going to do. I'm going to clear out of this swell joint with all its swell equipment and publicity and build my own lab in the Vermont woods and really get something done for a change.
Your own lab?
Sure. What do you say? Is it a go?
Martin.
Joyce.
You didn't expect to see me here, did you? Do you think I'd have missed welcoming you home?
Thanks, but...
I know how it is, Martin. I heard everything. But I helped you once. I thought perhaps I could help you again.
You're sweet, Joyce. Thank you.
Well, I guess this lets me out.
Wait. Joyce, I'm sorry I can't accept your offer. No, yours either, Tubbs. You can keep your department head. You can keep your glory. And you can see those reporters yourself. Tell them I'm not what they think I am. See, I'm a bust, a failure, a washout. But I'm not licked yet. I'll do something for science if it kills me, but I can't do it here. Gottlieb said a man could build a lab from a bottle and a piece of string, and that's what I'm going to do. Come on, Terry. I'm going with you. Lee and I, we're both going with you.
Do not let yourselves be tainted by skepticism. Live in the serene peace of laboratories. Say to yourselves first, what have I done for my instruction? What have I done for my country? Until the time comes when you may have the immense happiness of thinking that you have contributed in some way to the progress and good of humanity. With these words of Louis Pasteur, we ring down the curtain on Arrowsmith. As a fitting afterpiece to our drama, and before Spencer Tracy and Fay Wray return, let us look into a scene that happened in real life, a scene that serves to introduce our next guest. The year is 1900. The place, the town of Quemados in Cuba, infested with a deadly plague that's killed more American soldiers than fell in the Spanish-American War. Two men stand in a room facing Dr. Walter Reed. They are Private John R. Kissinger of Ohio and John J. Moran, a civilian clerk, who've come to answer Dr. Reed's call for volunteers. Reed has told them of the horrors they'll face, that their chance of coming out alive is 1 in 5. He's also told them their only reward would amount to about $300. Private Kissinger answers him. The one condition, sir, on which we volunteer is that we get no compensation for it. Dr. Reed looks at them in silence. Slowly, his hand goes to his cap. He has only 4 words to say. Gentlemen, I salute you. This was the scene that marked the real beginning of Dr. Reed's work in showing how the dread plague of fever can be banished from humanity. Tonight, the unsung hero who helped make that possible is with us. I'm proud to present the former private, John R. Kissinger. Like the Dr. Arrowsmith of our play, Walter Reed was faced with the terrible truth that any successful experiment would have to be made on human beings. Why couldn't you have used animals, Mr. Kissinger?
Because all animals are immune to yellow fever. They discovered this about the same time that Dr. Fenley brought out the theory that yellow fever was carried by mosquitoes, yellowjack.
Yes, up until then it was thought that the yellow fever was contagious, that you'd catch it merely through contact with its victims.
And the only way Dr. Reed could prove that this was false was to take the mosquito, let them bite normal human beings, and watch the result.
And just what happened to you, Mr. Kissingham?
Well, Dr. Reed's associate came into my room with 5 mosquitoes, specially selected. 2 of them had bitten men who had recently died. They applied them to me, and I was bitten 3 times. 5 days later, I had yellow fever.
And it was the result of that experiment on you that convinced Dr. Reed he was on the right track at last?
I guess that's right. Others went through same experiments later on. Some died and some lived. But Dr. Reed proved to the world that yellow fever was caused by a certain type of mosquito.
And that type of mosquito is now being driven from the earth to destroy yellow fever forever. But tell me truthfully, just before those mosquitoes laden with yellow death bit you, weren't you tempted to change your mind about being a volunteer?
I had seen my comrades die from it, Mr. DeMille, and I knew exactly what I was in for. My thoughts then are my thoughts now, that a man is lucky to be able to die for the cause of humanity. Thank you.
I salute you, Mr. Kissingham. Ladies and gentlemen, Spencer Tracy and Fay Wray.
My thanks to you, Mr. DeMille, and to the sponsors of this program for their wonderful complexion care, Lux Toilet Soap. Like most actresses, I've used it constantly for many years because, in my opinion, there's nothing better for keeping the skin smooth and fresh and clear. And, Spencer, I want to tell you what a pleasure it was playing opposite you tonight. You know, it would seem that you're the favorite doctor of the Lux Radio Theater. Each time you've been here, you've played an MD.
Well, there's no profession I respect more, Faye, and none that has more real drama. You know, what a lot of us seem to overlook is the fact that the work made famous by men like Pasteur and Reed, by William Harvey and Jenner and Perret, still goes on in laboratories all over the world. Look what's happened in the last few years. Pernicious anemia has been beaten by 2 young doctors who found a wonderful remedy in liver. And out of the dirt and filth of sewers, mind you, has been found a bacteriophage that has revolutionized the treatment of staphylococcal infections. And at this moment, in quiet corners, men are bent over their microscopes in a struggle that may go on for years, but undoubtedly will someday see the ends of colds and of cancer and infantile paralysis. In a world where so much is measured by power and wealth, where destruction is still practiced and tolerated, what a source of comfort it is to know that some great minds still think great thoughts, how to help humanity.
Yes. The world stands still without medicine, without unselfishness. Not all of us can be Arrowsmiths, but we can and should make our little sacrifices for the common good.
Which leads me to an announcement our sponsors join me in making for the annual mobilization of human needs. This is a national drive for the support of hundreds of welfare organizations throughout our country. Funds are necessary to care for the needy, and only through your individual contributions can the money be raised to continue the good work. So we ask that you give your support, and remember that your contribution may mean new life to a man, to a woman, or to a helpless child. Be a good neighbor and send your donation to your local community chest.
I'm sure our entire audience will do their utmost, Mr. DeMille. And now, good night.
Good night, C.B.
Good night, Faye. Good night, Faye. Melodrama comes to our microphone next Monday night. In the story of a girl and the 3 men she loved. One is her father, a famous criminal lawyer. One is her fiancé. And the third, a man outside the pale of society. It's a play that ran with great success on Broadway and the screen. A Free Soul. As the girl, brought up to do whatever she thinks is right, regardless of public opinion, we bring you Ginger Rogers. And starring with her, Donna Michi and Charles Winninger. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Ginger Rogers, Charles Winninger, and Donna Michi in A Free Soul. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.
The announcer has been Melville Ruick. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.